What's going on there, YouTube? Welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue our coverage over Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's work on Batman. Because remember, guys, when it came to Batman The Long Halloween, it's well known as one of the best Batman stories of all time. But when it came to Jeff Loeb and Tim Sales, when they had came together to work together on Batman, they gave us 3 Halloween specials that came out prior to The Long Halloween. Now, the 3 Halloween specials, they were part of the Batman, The Legends of the Dark Knight series. That series alone kind of dealt with the early days of Bruce Wayne being Batman, where of course you're seeing Batman trying to figure out how to be a hero, how to handle different types of situations, and how to handle these different types of villains. And so when it came to those types of books, you really saw Batman struggle a lot. Like in our last one, when it came to that Halloween special, it was Bruce Wayne going after Scarecrow. But thanks to Scarecrow fear toxin, it brought out one of the worst fears in Batman's life, the idea that he would never find true love. Now in this one right here, is Batman also kind of dealing with a different type of trauma, but also a different villain as well. And that villain is the Mad Hatter. Now the Mad Hatter does somewhat tie into what kind of trauma that Bruce Wayne has to handle, but it's also us seeing Jim Gordon trying to adjust to the idea of being a father, because now he has 2 kids to take care of. And of course, one of them is Barbara Gordon. And really, the first page of this Halloween special kind of points out that, like, yes, this is a Batman story, but also a Jim Gordon story, a Barbara story as well, because for Barbara, she had just recently got adopted by Jim Gordon, but also they just moved, or really she had just moved over to Gotham City. And so for Jim, he knows like how crazy, how bad the city could truly be. But for Barbara, she believes that she can handle herself. She believes that she has the right to at least go around town to see all the different parts of Gotham on her own. But for Jim, it's kind of like, no, you don't understand what type of things happen here in Gotham City. And so while you have the 2 characters talking to one another, right above them at a subway station is Batman fighting against the Mad Hatter. Now, I kind of like this because it's really more Batman pointing out how truly bad Gotham is. Because here's the thing. In the last Halloween special, you had that book tell us like, hey, when it comes to Halloween, different cities do different things when it comes to Halloween. But for Gotham, all hell breaks loose. And so in this Halloween special, it's kind of like, hey, look at us once again. Here is Gotham City. Here's us dealing with another Halloween problem, because right now kids in this city are not really able to just go out on their own dressed up in different types of outfits to then go trick or treat to get a whole lot of candy. And the reason why, because in Gotham, your child might have the possibility of being kidnapped or even worse things happening to them. And so it's Batman kind of saying like, this city is really messed up, especially for children. Now, it's also Batman kind of pointing out different things about the Mad Hatter as well. Because for Batman, he does look at his rogue gallery like, okay, you know, I have the Joker, I have Two-Face, the Penguin, the Riddler. All those guys right there are just violent people. They're still bad, but they're just violent people. But when it comes to the Mad Hatter, it really does tick off Batman a lot, because here's the first reason why. The Mad Hatter's entire setup is built off the idea of a story made for children. Alice in Wonderland. This guy has perverted a story that was made for children many years ago. But it's also Bruce Wayne kind of remembering that his mom tried to read that story to him right before she was killed off in Crime Alley. But either way, for Batman, the reason why he's going after the Mad Hatter is because different children across Gotham City had just randomly disappeared. But all the different clues lead back over to the Mad Hatter. And so it's Batman saying, I gotta take this guy down to hopefully figure out what happened to the missing children. Now, while you have Batman trying to do that, you do have the Mad Hatter pull out a gun. And when he does shoot Batman, but only grazed Batman's head. But of course, Batman does lose a good amount of blood, which of course kind of makes him pass out for the time being, but allowing the Mad Hatter to escape. Now we do transition over to Jim Gordon and his family. Now here's the thing, because for Jim Gordon, he had actually adopted Barbara. Originally in the post-crisis era for DC Comics, Barbara was his niece. And so, of course, by this point in time, he was now able to adopt her, and she's now living with him and his wife and their newborn son. Now, for Barbara and Jim, they don't get along very well because, like I said earlier, for Jim Gordon, he's not really trying to allow Barbara the ability to go explore this brand new city. But it's him kind of pointing out, like, this is not Ohio. Like, this city right here is completely messed up. I'm afraid of the idea of possibly losing you. Now, you do have him say the wrong thing, like, as long as you live in my house, do what I say. And that right there kind of makes her even more upset, and she just walks away. Now, as we transition back over to Bruce Wayne, it's really more of us seeing Bruce Wayne still passed out. Now, when being passed out, it allows us to kind of go into this flashback where it was his mother trying to read him Alice in Wonderland. Now, this one particular moment does take place right before you had the family go out for the night to go see the movie. And of course, after the movie, they went down Crime Alley, where of course the Waynes were shot and killed at. But anyways though, for his mom, she loved the idea of reading him that book. But when it came to his father, it was a huge no-no. And the reason why, because to his father, his son should be reading books that will inspire him to do great things, to teach him great things about the world, not just some random funny book for children. Like, that right there is not okay at all. But for Bruce Wayne's mom, for his mom, it's kind of like, no, he's still a kid. And with him being a kid, he should still be able to read children stories. Now, for a brief moment, we do switch back over to Jim Gordon. Now, for Jim, it's him trying to apologize to Barbara. The problem is that when he goes to her room, he realized she ran away. She's long gone. Now, you also have Jim read her diary, where it's her saying, like, she's trying her best to adjust to the idea that now this man right here is her father. But at the same time, he's not allowing her to have some type of freedom as a teenager to at least explore the city, to do different things. It's him not trying to meet her halfway. Now, once he's done reading her diary and realized that she ran away, his wife walks into the room and he says she left. And she tells him, dude, you are literally the commissioner of the police department. Get out there and find our daughter. Like, go out there, get your guys working to hopefully bring her home safely. And for Barbara, we see her right now just out in the middle of a park in Gotham City. Now for Barbara, she kind of realized that, okay, she has no place to go. Like, technically, this was a bad idea. Like, she should probably go back home. But the problem is that as soon as she realized that, she's then completely surrounded by all of these random thugs wearing skull masks. Now for Barbara, she's trying her best to get away. But the problem is they keep surrounding her, blocking her way out of the park. Now, luckily for her, somebody does come by and start shooting bullets everywhere. Now, at first, we're kind of left to believe, like, okay, maybe, just maybe, her father found her. But nope, he did not find her. Somebody else did. And unfortunately, that would be the Mad Hatter. Now, once you do have Batman finally get back up after passing out, you do have Batman realize that his arm is not really broken, but kind of sprained at the moment. Now, for Batman, he does find this rat, and this rat does lead Batman out of the building that he was currently in. Now, once you do have Batman get out of the building, he begins to slowly pass out. But then out of nowhere, somebody offers to help him. Now for Batman, he's still somewhat woozy. So when he looks up, what he sees is, well, his mother. But he also realized that he's now back in Crime Alley. Now, for Barbara, we see that, yes, she is a captive for the Mad Hatter, but so are other children that had supposedly gone missing. But of course, they have been kidnapped by the Mad Hatter. Now, for Barbara, she's trying her best to figure out how can she escape? How can she work her way out of this situation? But for the Mad Hatter, he wants her to drink the tea that he had made. Now, there is a reason why he wants the kids to continue to drink the tea that he made. But we do see other kids there as well in different outfits from Alice in Wonderland. Kids who had also gone missing. The same kids that Batman is currently looking for. Now, one of the kids who were there with the Mad Hatter was able to escape, luckily. Now, with this child being able to escape, that child does run right by Jim Gordon's vehicle. And so this child could technically be used as a way to lead Jim over to where the Mad Hatter is at to hopefully save his daughter's life. Now, I want to go back over to Batman because for Batman, we saw him earlier believe that he was being helped out by his mother, but in reality, he wasn't. His mom is dead. As a matter of fact, it's Leslie Tompkins. Now, for Leslie Tompkins, she played a major role in Bruce Wayne's life right after his parents had died. It wasn't just Alfred, it was also her there as well. Now for Leslie, she's kind of like a therapist, but also she loves the idea of helping out young children in her area because that part of Gotham is a complete mess. And so for Leslie, once again, she was out there and she saw Batman on the ground and kind of realized that, hey, he needs my help. Now, she knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. We do see her being able to nurse him back to health. And once she does that, he's kind of like, okay, cool, I gotta go. But it's also Batman saying thank you because he remembers that she was in his corner after his parents had died. He needed her just as much as he needed Alfred in his life as well. Now, when we jump back over to Jim Gordon, it's Jim Gordon right now getting ready to move in on the base of the Mad Hatter to hopefully bring him down. And matter of fact, for Jim, he brought a few police officers with him. But you didn't have Batman say, hey, don't go in. Let me handle this. Now, it's also Jim telling Batman like, hey, he has my daughter. And so for Batman, he's like, okay, now even more motivated to go in there, stop the Mad Hatter, but to also make sure to bring your daughter back to you. And so for Batman, he kind of knows he has to move fast because for Batman, he knows Jim Gordon is not going to wait that long. His daughter's life is in danger at the moment. And so for Batman, he has to move fast to hopefully save her life. And so you have Batman try to get in there fast to bring down the Mad Hatter. But Jim Gordon does not wait that long. The dude busts through a window to get his daughter back. Now, while you have him being able to grab his daughter, you have Batman chase down the Mad Hatter. And this battle does not last that long at all, where you do have Batman being able to easily bring down the Mad Hatter. Now, this leads into a small conversation between Batman and also Barbara. Now, is Barbara apologizing to Batman? And for me personally, I'm like, technically, you don't really need to apologize to Batman. You need to apologize to your father because Batman was going after the Mad Hatter. So either way, he would have gotten there to bring down the Mad Hatter. But you're only there because, well, you and your father got in a fight and you ran away from home. But either way, you do have Batman just disappear when she looks back up and realize he's gone. But you do have her go back home with her father. And the close on this book is Bruce Wayne going back home and actually finishing the book that he never got the chance to finish with his mom, Alice in Wonderland. And so this is the actual ending for this book right here. And with that being said, guys, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.